This is the Cancer Boss Method podcast, the place to be when cancer sucks and you don't want it to. I'm Leslie Nance, survivor, cancer coach, and healing mentor. Come learn the truth about what your role is in your own healing. No BS, just real strategies from a cancer coach who has been there, done that. And I'm talking about healing. Hey there, Cancer Bosses. Welcome back to the podcast where we break through confusion, fear, and overwhelm so you can take charge of your healing journey. I'm Leslie Nance, a holistic cancer coach, certified oncology nutritionist, and today we are tackling a big one, confusion. Don't. Let's be honest, cancer is often described as complicated, and maybe you've been told that your case is unique or particularly complex. And I remember when I was diagnosed, every appointment seemed to bring more uncertainty. Things like good news, you have the best kind of breast cancer, and new news, you have an aggressive form of breast cancer, and bad news, you have the worst kind of breast cancer. And then finally, just confusing news that they weren't sure what kind of cancer that they were dealing with. So raise your hand if you've been there through your own journey. So cancer thrives on complications, and because of that, it leaves us feeling vulnerable and uncertain and emotionally drained. But here's the truth. Confusion is not neutral. It is an energy thief, and it keeps you stuck. It clouds your mind with fear-based, like, what ifs. What if I told you that confusion could actually be a choice? Now stay with me today because we're going to break up with confusion and step into some clarity today. Okay, let's talk science for a second. Did you know that your brain can literally run out of decision-making power? There was a study done in 1998 that found that when people make too many choices, their mental energy drains, and it's called decision fatigue. And that's why at the end of the day, you might struggle to decide what to eat for dinner or what show to watch. Your brain is totally tapped out. And guess what? Cancer decisions are way bigger than what's for dinner. You have treatment options, you have diet changes, you have supplement plans, you have second opinions, you have scans, you have labs, you have blood work. I mean, all the things, prognoses. No wonder we start to feel stuck. But here's the shift. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just need to make one clear decision at a time. So here's the question. What's one decision that you're avoiding right now? I want you to take a moment and I want you to think about it. And I want you to hold on to that because we're going to come back to it in just a second. So why do we stay stuck in confusion? The answer? Fear. According to Harvard Business Review, fear literally hijacks the rational part of our brain and shifts it to the fear center. And that means when we're scared, we aren't thinking clearly. And it comes in many forms, not just fear about having cancer, but fear of making the wrong decision, fear of consequences, fear of wasting time and money and energy, fear of cancer getting worse, fear of treatment side effects or suffering or your quality of life, fear of failure, or even fear of success. Does that make sense? Does that sound familiar to you? Confusion is an unmanaged emotional state. And here's the hard truth. We often hold on to confusion because it lets us avoid responsibility. We don't have to take action. We don't have to face the consequences. We don't have to make the tough call. And I see it all the time in someone's cancer journey. I had to make major decisions about my treatment path, and ultimately I chose not to do conventional treatments, not because they were wrong, but because they weren't right for me. Was it scary? Yes. Did I know if I'd be here 12 years later like I am now? No. But I refused to let confusion rob me of my peace. Confusion is a time thief, and cancer already takes up enough. Don't let it steal your clarity as well. So how do we break free from confusion? A lot of people think that clarity is some big aha moment, but research says that clarity is built through small, intentional choices. In the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, he explains that tiny, consistent decisions lead to exponential results. So here's my advice. Stop trying to figure out your entire healing path today. Just make one simple, clear choice. What to eat for breakfast, what time to meditate, what boundaries to set, what appointments do you need to schedule. Micro decisions lead to micro clarity. Serena Williams, one of the greatest athletes of all times, once said, "Every decision I make is the best decision that I can make in the moment. I own it and I move forward." Now that's powerful. What if we applied this to cancer and to our healing as well? You don't need a crystal ball. You just need to decide with confidence and commitment. Make the best decision that you can today, own it, and move forward. So how do we stop confusion in its tracks? Here's what I want you to not do when you're feeling stuck. Don't make endless lists of pros and cons. Don't ask a million people what you should do. And don't stay stuck in the emotion. Do this instead. Disrupt the thought. Get up, move your body, do something physical, drink some water, read a book, call a friend, make an email, whatever. Second, I want you to stop saying, "I don't know." And instead of letting it sit there and take up space and energy because you don't know, replace that with, "I'm figuring it out," or "I'm exploring my options," or "I trust the answer will come to me." So I just want you to take a minute and I want you to try something, because if you're confused about something right now, I want you to try something. As long as you're not driving or operating heavy machinery or whatever, I want you to try something. I want you to close your eyes and I want you to take in a nice deep breath, maybe put your hand on your heart. And I'm going to ask you a question. If you already knew the right decision, what would it be? If you already knew the right decision, what would it be? This is an important question because that is your intuition speaking up and speaking out. And whatever that first answer is, lies the key to the questions that you are asking. Your intuition already knows. But what happens is fear ends up burying it. Look, confusion is not a lack of knowledge. Confusion is a fear of making the wrong choice. And you don't have to get it right every single time. You just have to choose and move forward. So what's the one decision that you can make today for your healing? I want you to write it down. I want you to think about it. And then I want you to take action. Okay, that is it for this episode of the Cancer Boss Method podcast. If this resonates with you, please feel free to send me a message or share this episode with someone that you think needs it. Remember, you are never powerless in your healing and you've got this. So until next time, stay clear, stay confident, and keep showing up for yourself. If you have enjoyed this episode, it's time to connect. Make sure you follow this podcast and check out all the socials on anystagecancer.com. If you're ready to talk about your own healing using the Cancer Boss Method, then click the link below this episode. Hey, and remember, cancer's not your destiny. Okay, I'm outie.